What's up, guys? I am no longer a Yager partner, not by choice, but now that means that I am no longer under NDA, so now I can finally speak my mind openly about how I feel about Yager and the state of the cycle moving into Season 3. During this video, I will have some footage playing in the background. I will also throw up some screenshots, and I will throw up some clips of certain things as I'm going over them. So sit back, relax, enjoy the video, and let's dive straight into this. All right, so first things first, I want to kind of give you a little bit of background about how the Yager Partner Program works and then how they've restructured it recently. So before, when I first started playing Cycle back in Season 1, end of Closed Beta 2, the Partner Program essentially was if you were a content creator and you were making content for the game consistently, you would get into the Partner Program. They didn't really have an affiliate program. Well, they did, but they weren't really adding too many people to it. If you were making any sort of content at this point, you were essentially getting into the partner program. It seemed like Yager was a lot more open back then, and they communicated it a little bit better as they were in Season 1 and Closed Beta 2, probably because their viewer count and their player base was up high, so they were on top of the world. But as that kind of fell off moving into Season 2, they did a partner program restructure, and I'll throw some stuff up on the screen here, which isn't a huge deal, but the requirements to get into the partner program itself were out of this world. No one met these requirements. As you can see, to become a partner for your Twitch stats, you need 4,000 watch hours and 100 average viewers per stream. When they implemented this change, not a single streamer besides Afflict at the time met these requirements. So I don't know where Yager got off with setting these requirements. It made zero sense. They were getting an average of 600 viewers on Twitch in the whole Cycle category. So this change made no sense to any of us at the time. We were all very confused and worried that we were going to lose our partnership because none of us qualified for this besides Afflict. Now, on the YouTube side of things, 3,500 average video views and 10,000 subscribers. At that time, the current people that were in the partner program that met the YouTube requirement were me, some kind of dog. We were the only two that had above 10,000 subscribers and met the average of 3,500 views per video. Now there's a few other ones. I think Vasco's getting pretty close to that. He may not meet the subscriber count, but he definitely meets the viewer count. And Yager had stated that they would make exceptions based off of if you were putting the time and effort in and they saw that you were making good quality content, they would keep you in the partner program. Now, essentially, they made this change to remove partners from the program that weren't active, that weren't actively playing the game, that were only coming back around when the new season came out to get drops, and then they would dip and go play their main game. So they were doing this to better the partner program for the creators that were consistently putting out content, consistently playing the game. Cycle was their main game, which was a lot of us at the time. As Season 2 progressed, we kind of noticed that the game was kind of going downhill. The devs were really lackluster on patch notes. They were taking a long time to do balances and stuff like that. So a lot of people dipped. A lot of people left. Myself included. I left for a little bit. I took a little bit of a break. I think it was about a month that I didn't play Cycle. But then I came back. Ultimately, I came back. Can't really stay away from Cycle. It's one of those games where even if you hate it, you're still gonna want to play it. Like, there's nothing else to play, and Cycle just had that vibe. It had scratched that itch that we were all looking for at one point in time. Here comes the main problem with the new partner program. They are claiming that they're doing it in rotation. So the same people won't stay in the partner program month after month. You have to reapply for the partner program each month, meaning you may not get into the partner program even if you were consistently making content, consistently making or streaming, anything like that. You may not get in because they're doing it based on rotations, which makes no sense. I've never seen any other dev company do rotations of partners. Like, if you look at someone so successful as Dark and Darker, they allow pretty much everybody into their partner program. If you have a YouTube channel or a Twitch channel and you're making consistent content on Dark and Darker, they will accept you into their partner program. And the main difference that I saw with Yager's partner program and Iron Mace's partner program is Iron Mace, you get a direct line of communication with the actual devs of the game, the actual people who are making the code for the game, the artists, everything. You have a direct line of communication with those people, and you can ping your ideas directly off the people who are making the game. I do not know why Yager doesn't do this. Yager has community managers who is like playing Whisper Down the Alley. Like, I tell a community manager something, they have to go tell the devs that. And then who knows if they, said exactly what I said, if they changed the idea a little bit, if they even told them at all. Who knows? We don't, because they never communicated with us. That was the main issue I had with the Yager partner program. program was that we didn't have good communication. There was no communication between the devs and the partners at all, unless you were one of their favorites. Then the devs would come into your stream and hang out. The devs would play games with you, that kind of stuff. Unless you were a favorite or you kissed Yager's ass, you did not get any line of communication with the devs. I am not a person that is going to bullshit my viewers, bullshit my fans, and just sit here and say only good things about the game. Even when I was a partner, if you watched any of my streams or my videos, I was knocking on Yager all day long because I'm not going to sit here and peddle a game or something that I'm not happy about to my viewers. It's just not something I can do. It's why I don't take a lot of the sponsorship opportunities I get on this channel, is because it's just not something I can get behind. It's not something I want to sell to my viewers. It's just not who I am. So that was the main issue, is the no communication. Like, I would have loved to see better communication between Yager, the devs, and the partners in that program at that time. So the second thing, and I'm going to throw a screenshot up on the screen here, and I don't care at this point. I'm going to out people directly because it's not fair to everyone else who's applying for the partner program. Yager let a known viewbotter or embedder into their partner program. Here's the stats on the screen. It was crazy. You could see the massive spike in their uptrend on watch hours and viewer count. And I let Scraticus know about this. Me and a couple other people reached out to Scraticus. We let them know about this, and Scraticus reached out to this person and said, hey, are you viewbotting? What's going on here? And he let them know, no, I'm paying to have my stream embedded on other people's websites. This is essentially legal viewbotting. Essentially what happens is you pay a website to put your stream on that website, and any traffic that's driven to that website counts as a view for your stream. So the viewers aren't actually in your chat. That's why they don't talk. That's why, all that kind of stuff happens. And it's essentially a legal way to viewbot, and Twitch can't do anything about it. So Yager knew about this, and they were going to write up a new, pretty much addendum to their contract and to their partnership requirements, saying that they have to be active viewers to count. So they knew about this. Come this partner rotation, they allowed that embedder back into the partner program, even though they haven't played the cycle in so long. They have barely any watch hours on cycle this month, and Yager knows that they're embedding, that they use fake viewers. So why would you allow them back into the partner program to represent your company as a content creator? Makes no sense at all. It makes zero sense. I don't understand this. I literally don't. Besides that, Yager also made a statement that they do not listen to the 1% comments. What is the 1%, you may be asking? They say that the 1% are essentially anybody who is insanely good at PvP. If you are insanely good at PvP and at the game, you are in this 1%, as they like to claim. They essentially told us that they do not look at the 1% statements like they do the general public, because apparently the 1% only looks out for themselves. So essentially, if you're good at PvP, none of your feedback will be looked at because you only care about yourself in the game and not the general public. Makes no sense. For a game studio to say this about their partners and their public PvPers is insane. That you think that the top tier players only want to better the game for themselves and not as a whole. These are the people you should be listening to. The people that grind your game every single day and that are insane at it, whether that's PvE or PvP, these are the people you should be listening to. Not the people that hop on once in a while. Those are the people that, in my opinion, you shouldn't really be listening to, because they don't play the game enough to understand how it works to the T. The people that are there every single day and are grinding it are the people that find these bugs, that know how the weapons should be balanced. The people that are PvPing all day, know how the guns feel, the recoil feels, the bullet drop, the bullet velocity, all that kind of stuff. They know how all that stuff feels. Those are the people you should be listening to when it comes to gun balancing and stuff like that. But they don't. They choose to listen to the gamer dad, as they've said. There have been multiple instances when the devs have said on their live streams, Scraticus, Rumble, Justin, Toast, have said that they prefer to sit in bushes and third-party fights and rat the fights, essentially. Bro, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. For you to perpetuate a gameplay style like that, where it's just sitting in bushes and watching fights go down, I've never heard anything like that. You should want your players to be going out, getting into these fights, using these guns, not just sitting in bushes and hiding. And for a dev company to say that that's how they play, pretty much all of their devs play like that. That's insane to me. I never understand that. And it makes more sense now after them saying that, why they are, kind of changing the different things in the way that they are, like taking away slide jumping and stuff like that, because they can't adapt to the high level play style. So instead of, learning it, they would rather remove it, which makes no sense to me. Moving into my next point is that slide jumping being removed. Right now, there's a play style where you slide, jump, and then ADS your gun midair. So like you can slide, jump, peek a corner, shoot while you're ADS around while you're flying around the corner, and put some damage in people. There have been multiple partners that have come out and said that they want the slide, jump, shooting mechanic removed because it's not fair, and that you shouldn't win the fight because you press one more key than me. That's the whole point. You look at any game like Apex or anything like that, movement is the determining factor in most cases if you're going to win a fight. If you're just standing still or walking in a straight line or crouched trying to shoot, you're probably going to lose the fight. If I'm zipping around you, jump sliding, peeking different angles at different, in different ways by slide jumping around the corners or anything like that, I'm probably going to win, because I'm utilizing the movement to my benefit. If you can't adapt to that playstyle, this probably isn't the game for you. And I really hope that Yager does not go down the path of removing and making movement sluggish. If they remove this slide jump mechanic where you slide around a corner, you can slide, jump, ADS, and shoot pretty accurate, I will no longer be playing the cycle. And I have multiple other partners that have said the same exact thing, that if they remove this mechanic, they are also done playing the cycle, because it's going to make movement feel like shit, and it's going to make sitting still and ratting the meta, because you're going to get the first shot, and there's going to be no way to react anymore because you won't be able to slide, jump, and shoot. Just my opinion here. I don't know how many of you guys actually feel the same way as this, but there's a lot of people that are on my side, and there's a lot of bad people who are against me. So we'll see about that. Back to the partner program. So another thing is they're allowing streamers who haven't even played the game or have barely played the game in the past 6 months into the partner program. They do not meet the requirements, because a lot of these requirements to get into the partner program are cycle specific. So 100 average viewers on cycle specifically, 4,000 watch hours on cycle specifically. It's not overall channel stats. It is on cycle specifically. At least that's what we were told when we were in the program. Now, if Yager changed that, who knows? But they're allowing people back into the partner program that haven't even touched the game during season 2 at all, which makes no sense. So they're kicking people like myself and Corbry out of the partner program who have been with this game, dedicated to this game the entire time, through closed betas, through season 1, through season 2, through the season 2 extension. They're kicking us out and replacing us with people who haven't even played the game, who don't make content on the game, who aren't in the same genre as us. Makes no sense. I just don't get where Yager is going with this. Also, they're still allowing creators into this content creator program that do not pull any views. It makes no sense. Why would you let creators into your partner program, give them access to all of these assets, early playtests, that kind of stuff, if they're not pulling any views? They're not doing anything for you. They're not advertising the game because no one is watching them. And this is no offense to the individual creators. I started, somewhere. Everyone starts somewhere. So obviously you need to pull, you need to get the content out there. You need to pull the viewers. It's hard. And trust me, I know. I've been there. I'm not even that big, and I still understand it. I still struggle to this day to pull in views on cycle just because the audience isn't there. But you shouldn't get the same perks that someone who has put in the time and effort does and actually pulls views. And it may sound cocky or selfish or whatever, but it's not fair. That's why they have an affiliate program and a partner program. If you are not pulling the viewership, you should be in the affiliate program. And if you are pulling the viewership, or a bigger streamer, a bigger YouTuber, you should be in the partner program. Why have two separate groups if you're not going to utilize them? It makes no sense. No sense at all. I don't get it. Also, the prizes. So Some Kind of Dog, him quite well. He's one of my good friends. We play almost every single day together. He has won the #1 cycle YouTuber past 2 partner program rotations in a row. And what he got for that was a HyperX headset and a HyperX mic. So now, moving into season 3, they've gotten better prizes. Now, for the Twitch side of things, which makes no sense why you'd value Twitch more over YouTube, you can get way more audience exposure on YouTube than you can on Twitch, especially with some of the views that Dog and them are pulling in. It's insane. So it makes no sense to me why they'd value Twitch over YouTube. But for the Twitch side, you can win a full PC. For the YouTube side, you can win a 4070 Ti. Sounds great. Yes, they're finally making the rewards better for the partner program. The downside is they all of a sudden started allowing massive creators back into the partner program, even though they said they wouldn't in the past because they wanted to spotlight the smaller creators that have stuck with Cycle the entire time. They started letting insanely massive creators back into the partner program, which just gives no hope for any of the small creators anymore to even win those prizes. The big creators are going to win hands down. They can post one video and none of us are ever going to touch the views that those big creators get. They don't need the prizes. They make insane money off of Twitch and YouTube. They don't need the PC. They don't need the 4070 Ti. Now, this is a little bit of a controversial topic. So RMTing stands for real money trading, RWTing, real world trading, essentially buying gear with real life currency. A while ago, back in season 1, when gear was a lot more valuable, way more valuable. Season 2, with the dupes and the bugs, gear didn't really have any value to it. But season 1, it had a lot of value to it. There were multiple streamers that we have screen capped and submitted to Yager that were selling gear on their stream for donations, specifically saying, if you donate, I will give you a kit. Not saying, oh, like, okay, hey, we're doing a sub giveaway, something like that. That's different to all of your subs. It was, if you donate this amount or more, I will give you gear. That is RMTing in my eyes. I don't know how other people see that, but as straight RMTing or RWTing in my eyes, there's no way around it. We reported this to Scraticus, and Scraticus essentially said that there's nothing they can do or that they're going to look into it and never did anything about it. RMTing is against the game rules. There are people being banned. Cheaters, RMT, that's the whole reason cheaters are cheating, is to RMT in the game. The whole reason that cheaters are cheating is to RMT in most cases. Not every case, but in most cases, they're cheating to get gear to sell it to people on, websites that they can sell gear on auction houses and stuff like that. They sell this gear for real world money. So what is the difference between a bigger streamer telling his viewers they can donate to get gear? That is the same fucking thing in my opinion, and Yager did nothing about it. I'm not going to name any streamers individually. It's just I don't want to out them. It was so long ago too, but I did want to bring this up that Yager did nothing about it because they were afraid to ban one of their bigger streamers from the game in fear of losing that viewership. So they put viewership over integrity of the game. They were allowing a streamer to sell gear for donations on their stream and didn't step in and do anything against it. They essentially had the power to do something, decided not to because of the fear of losing viewership. Now, this is a little bit of a off-topic point, but another reason why I may or may not continue making cycle content in the future is the incapable dev team. This is the most incapable dev team I've ever seen in my entire life. They are, and I don't know how familiar you guys are with the Yager dev team, what games they've made, what Cycle was before it was the Cycle Frontier. It was a battle royale. Essentially, everything you are seeing in the Cycle Frontier are reused assets from the Cycle Battle Royale when it existed. Nothing is new. Nothing is being created currently for the game. Everything is reused assets. And there are people who have played the Battle Royale that have said this a million times, that the dev team is not creating new skins, they're not creating new guns, they're not, creating new maps. It's all part of the Battle Royale. Now, Theris may have been a new map, which, whatever, Theris sucks, but they're reusing a ton of assets from the other game and turning it into the Cycle, which is fine. Whatever, it saves you time. You already have these assets. I like how the Cycle looks, so I'm not complaining about the reusing of assets. But on the Season 3 roadmap, they said to expect new sci-fi weapons in Season 3. Do you know what the new sci-fi weapons are in Season 3? They reused old assets and current assets. Let's use, for instance, the PDW. So now there are Mark 1 PDWs and Mark 2 PDWs. They didn't create anything new. All they did was create two variations of the same exact gun, change the damage, change the pen, change what attachments you can and cannot put on the guns, called them new weapons. Those are the new sci-fi weapons that we're supposed to expect in moving into Season 3. When we called them out on this and told them that they lied directly to us about these new weapons, they said, no, that roadmap is not a promise. It's just something you could look forward to. Now, if you put a roadmap out to the public like that, you better expect that the public is going to expect those things moving into your new season. And if you can't uphold to that, then you are directly lying to your player base and your viewers. I can't get behind that. That is awful to me. The incapability of the dev team as it sits right now, the Comrade has still not been fixed after 2 full seasons and a 4-month extension of Season 2. The Comrade still gets so many false red hit markers. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, is that the reason it hasn't been fixed yet is because the dev team doesn't know how to fix it. You can see in previous patch notes that they write at the bottom of the patch notes, we understand there's a bug with the comrade. We understand, this. We understand that. But it hasn't been fixed. And it's my opinion, the reason it hasn't been fixed is because they do not know how to fix it. If they did, would have been fixed already. Makes zero sense. In Season 1, the comrade worked perfectly. And you know why? This is my theory, because the comrade's hitbox when you shot the projectile was much larger. So the splash damage of the actual projectile was much larger, so you wouldn't get false red hit markers. Now, they made the comrade an impact gun. It is no longer a grenade launcher. The grenades do no splash damage. It is shoot them directly or you don't get any damage done to them at all. That is where I think the comrade went wrong. When they changed that hitbox to be impact only, it fucked up. It started making red hit markers. If they would revert it back to the way it was, I guarantee you'd stop seeing those red hit markers. But Yager doesn't think like that. They do not like to make a change and then go back on it. I don't know why. Like, that's something that a dev team should be able to admit, like, hey, we messed up. We're going to revert it back to the old way to fix the bugs and stuff like that. Or we're going to remove the comrade from the game until we can figure out why it has false red hit marks, like they did with the alien vision. Just makes no sense to me. I don't get it. One of the other things is the scarceness of balance patches. The Brute and the Bassie were completely overrunning the end to mid-season of Season 2, and it took us almost 3 months to get a balance patch on the Brute and Bassie. Makes no sense. When we called them out on what is taking so long, they told us that the balance patches cannot be hot fixed into the game, which I don't know how familiar you guys are with hot fixes. A hot fix is essentially a patch in between patches. So you have, like say they're scheduled to put out a patch every other Wednesday. A hot fix would be a patch in between that 2-week schedule of their patches. So maybe like in a week, they would be like, oh, we realize there's a bug. We're going to throw out a hot fix to fix that right on the spot. They told us that the balance patches cannot be hot fixed in. Makes no sense. I've been partners in many other games, and I've played so many games throughout my 27 years on this planet. Never heard a dev team say that they can't hot fix in gun balance patches. Makes no sense at all. I just really don't understand what Yager is even talking about with half this stuff. And maybe we would if they communicated better with us, which they don't at all. None of us. They're over here on Twitter busy posting memes instead of updating us on what is actually happening in the game. Another thing that the devs struggle to acknowledge is the mineral scanner. I am on the same side of what I just said with the comrade with this, of the mineral scanner. When you scan, you can see players through smokes with it. They are now adding that to Season 3 as an intended feature of the mineral scanner. That's bullshit. My theory here is that they didn't know how to fix that bug to get it to stop showing players through smokes, so they just added it to the game and added it to the mineral scanner as an intended feature because they couldn't figure out how to fix it. And I don't care what Yager says, they're going to go back and be like, no, we actually really like that. That's a really cool use of it. It can get more people to use the mineral scanner. Nah, bullshit. That's all lies. They cannot fix that problem, so now they're going to keep it in the game as an intended feature. This is kind of just a rant at this point. I'm just going into exactly all the issues that I have with Cycle. If you guys even stuck around to this point, I do greatly appreciate that. Please consider leaving a like, comment, and subscribing if you want to see more content like this in the future. I don't know what games I'm going to be playing moving on from here. I'll still try Cycle in Season 3, but if they remove that slide jump feature, I'm done playing the game. I'll probably move on to something like Rust or Tarkov. We'll see. I know we got a couple other games coming out soon. Hopefully Dark and Darker gets over this lawsuit so we can continue to play that. But we'll see. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you guys for enjoying this video. If you did, I'll catch you guys in the next one.